Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Trainer's Tip Tuesday, where I give you a training tip or trick every Tuesday. This week I actually had, I saw a post on Facebook and it was about an owner, and she has a dog who is great and he's happy-go-lucky and he's just another member of the family with her and her boyfriend. But if the dog is ever in the room with like her mom or someone else, the dog gets aggressive. And I just want to touch quick on how to deal with a dog who maybe acts aggressive around other people and not with you. So first I want to talk about how body language and barking can be misinterpreted. I mean, barking, jumping, just overall bratty behavior from a dog, it can be misinterpreted as aggressive. Whining can be misinterpreted as a dog being in pain. A tail wagging can be misinterpreted as a friendly dog. Again, I don't really know what the Facebook situation was. I left my own personal opinion on what I think is going on. I don't know the person personally. Yeah, without really knowing the situation, without really knowing the person or what's going on, I kind of just had to take it from a standpoint as is, and then this is how I'm trying to break it down. So if you have a dog that's showing biting, I just want to preface this that biting isn't something to take lightly. If your dog really is showing behavior as being growly, snippy, snappy, snarling, biting, I mean, that's like serious stuff. That can lead to a very serious situation, a very serious bite. So you want to kind of put the nix on it now. If you do notice it, I would say seek professional help. Don't just think that he'll grow out of it or that it's just a phase, because he won't. Your dog won't grow out of it. Your dog will grow into it. If he can get away with biting or even just like nips or snapping, if he finds out that he can get away with that, he will continue to do that. So biting and nipping and snapping, even just snapping at the air, even if he doesn't make contact, it's not something that I take lightly. It's not. Just because it can escalate, and it can lead to a very serious situation. It can lead to a serious bite, and perhaps this dog is only really picking on the one person in the family. If it continues long enough, the dog will move on to other people. It is a behavior that should not be taken lightly and should not just be like, oh, well, we just won't leave them alone in a room together. Because that dog will turn that behavior onto someone else. And the next one could be a grandma, the next one could be a kid. I just wouldn't take that chance with it. Dogs are smart creatures, and that being said, dogs watch our movements. They watch the way we interact, they watch the way that we do things around the house. They can figure out patterns. That being said, dogs can figure out who in the family that they can manipulate or who they can get away with stuff with. Dogs can be jerks sometimes. I mean, they really can. What it sounds like to me is that the dog has figured out that if he acts a certain way with a certain person, he can kind of manipulate her to leave him alone. If a dog is up on a couch and she wants to sit there, it just takes me like one growl and she leaves me alone. That's kind of the snapshot. Dogs don't necessarily think in, paragraphs, sentences. I've said this before. They think in snapshots. So if they learn, like, oh, if I growl, it gets her to leave me alone, let me put that in the bank and maybe I'll try it again later. And then, oh, if it takes more than a growl, oh, I had to snap at the air to get her to leave me alone. Oh, all right, let me put that in the bank. I'll use that for later. You can just kind of see how it escalates like that, and that's kind of where you see a lot of dogs biting kids. It's not that, the dogs are seeking out these kids to bite them. It's that the kids, or whoever's supposed to be supervising the children with the dogs, they're missing body language, they're missing cues from the dog, that the dog is uncomfortable, and the dog has just, learned that, oh, if I bite or if I snap at the air, they'll leave me alone. So, how do we fix the problem? The dog listens, apparently, to the boyfriend and the girl, fine. The owner, just fine. But my number one thing is that the owners need to reinforce that it is not and never okay for the dog to choose who to bite or when to bite. It's not appropriate to bite ever for a dog. It's not the dog's decision. It shouldn't even be okay in the household. The dog needs to be kind of held accountable. Like, if you're going to bite like that, you're going to get a correction. You're going to get a pop. There's going to be a consequence to that decision that you're going to make. And you're not going to make it again. That's kind of the way I stand on that. And not even just biting, but just even being bratty. You know, if the dog is barking excessively at the one family member, if the owners are there and they're not stepping in to, you know, tell the dog, hey, that's not appropriate behavior, leave my mother-in-law, my mom alone, whoever it is, that dog is going to keep being bratty to that person. It's important for the owners to step in and, you know, advocate for other people in their family as well as their dog. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Again, just advocating for both sides. I understand, like, your love for your dog, but if you want people to come over, you got to advocate for them too. So, you know, just making sure that we have our set rules and boundaries for our dogs, and that we're not only advocating for our dogs and their personal space, but we're also advocating for the people in our households. And you know, as far as the Facebook post goes, I don't really know what the owners are gonna do. Like I said, I just left my own trainer professional opinion. Other people left their opinions as well, and it's all up to the trainers to take it from here. And I wish them the best. I wish them all the luck in the world with their dogs. If you're out there struggling with a bratty dog who just seems to be flicking you off every time you try to give him a command, you know, call up a local trainer, message me, leave a comment down below. I'll try to help you out. But I hope you have a great Tuesday. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And I will see you next time. Okay, bye!